Howdy everybody, I am here with Sam, who made day 2 with Lunalight. Sam, what was your record?
831.
Alright, that was the second highest Lunalight that we know of right now, right?
Yeah, probably second or third, because one made top cut.
Yeah. Alright, let's see the list.
Alright, 43 cards. A lot of the Lunalight cards will be pretty standard, so 3 Gold Leo, and then that's only 3 of, and then 2 Chick, 2 Black Sheep, 2 Fractal. This card might not be standard to play at 2, but opening Fractal is actually really good as long as you don't open Silverhound, because it's your best starter into Droll. It's already a good starter if you open Tanky and search for Fractal, it's good into Droll, but when you just hard open Fractal, it's even better into Droll, obviously. So yeah, I think playing 2 this was good, and it got the starter count up to like 15, which is what you're looking for. And then the rest of the 1-ups were 1 Silverhound, 1 Martin, 1 Tiger, 1 Wolf. I don't think I would play any more of any of these. Like, I've seen someone try to play 2 of this, and it's just the worst card in your deck to draw by far. So like, I guess the logic is like, if you drew it, then you'd have 1 in deck, but it's just not, to me, that's just not worth it. And then when I go second, I usually side out. If it's like a deck, maybe they have Bystials, you may not do this, but otherwise you gotta side out pretty much these. If you're playing against like Mystery Ryziel or Malice, you just need to see the specific non-engine, but.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those are the monster counts. Spell cards, a lot of spell cards. 3 Tanky, because it's most of the cards in your deck, not every card. 1 Foolish Burial. Triple Foolish Burial goods. The logic behind playing 3 of this card is, I know OCG lists don't have it because...
The Rescue Rabbit plush has been claimed. Congratulations to Bruno Gomes de Campos de Mer.
Shout out that guy.
Yeah, this card wasn't at 3 in the OCG because it's still like a tier limit. But this card, basically being a starter or like a non-engine card, because of another card I'm playing later, makes this card so flexible, and it's sort of like a comparative advantage you have playing this deck. For the fusion spells, we've got 1 Poly, 1 Lunalight fusion. This is really your best going second card. I don't really believe in heavy Poly. I'll explain that when we get to the side deck. Then 2 of the Monster Reborn. I think this is the right number. Hard opening it is good. So when you hard open it, you want to make sure you have a second copy to search. But at least with this build, I think you can actually brick on it. You may not be able to put guys in grave if you get hand trapped. So, and then 3 Masquerade. Just another extender. It's also combo. It's good if your Gold Leo gets impermed and then extends for you. And then like quite a few times I use the effect to make Polymerization Miracle Fusion. So like it help you get the second Liger Dancer out. And then I played 1 Serenade Dance. Probably the worst card to draw in the deck, but it's by far the best thing you can send on Foolish Burial Goods, because not only does this not play into Droll, it sends for effect. So if you do open, like if you open Foolish Burial Goods and you have like one of these 2 cards in hand, or you got them in rotation somehow, then this card is like a plus 2, right? Because you banish it, summon Gold Leo, and then you can like pitch one of these and go like Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Because Perfume discards for cost, but this sends for effect. So yeah, I do think that card is worth playing, because you just need extra cinders, and you need stuff that's better in the Droll this format. So yeah, that's all the engine cards. For a main deck non-engine, we'll start with the hand traps. The 3 cards you have to play, you gotta play 3 Droll, you gotta play 3 Fua, you gotta play 3 Impulse if you're playing a deck that can play it, and then we're playing 3 Imperm. And that's it for the hand traps. And then other non-engine is Talents, Called By, and Black Oat Laughs.
What's up with the Black Oat?
So Black Oat is insane in this deck. It's like when you go second, because of the Foolish Burial Goods, it basically is like you get to play more copies of Imperm in your deck. You can call stuff that's not on the field currently. This didn't come up when I played against Malice, but like you could send this and then ban, and like if they go like March Hare effect, you could call a White Binder and they won't be able to activate it. You just have options with it. A lot of the times it's usually calling Detonator or Caesar, so you get more copies of Imperm. The Imperm is because you need outs to Protos, it's better than Ash Blossom in this format, because it can be used as a breaker as well, and it's a defensive card too. So on your board, a lot of decks have 1 out to Liger Dancer. So for example, against Ryziel variants, it is Dugaris. and against Malice, it's Cyber's Wicked, and then summon everything under the Wicked zones. So basically, if you can do your combo, and then you can hold an Imperm, usually that's good enough. Nibiru could fill this slot. Maybe I don't think Nibiru is as good generically as Imperm, but you could play one Nibiru and play the Grand in the extra deck, and that would fill somewhere. But this is probably, these two cards are like the best win first cards, because if you know the outs for the deck, for example, if you have Black Oat set, and they put 2 Cyber Sponsors on the board, you can just call Cyber's Wicked and you're probably pretty good, or you can call if you go against Rezo, you can call Detonator, and it literally doesn't matter. They can summon any Mitsurugi monsters, they can summon any Xyz monster. You just wait till the end phase, you blow everything up, and then you'll win on the following turn. So it's just so flexible. Black Oat I think is a must play in this deck. So that was main deck. It was 43.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see the extra.
Extra deck. Mostly standard with one card that's pretty interesting. We'll start with the fusions. I played 8. 2 Perfume Dancer. This is the new one that searches for perfume and then is like Yellow Martin. Yellow Martin's graveyard effect as well. I played 1 Cat and 1 Panther. This one has come up in testing in some matchups to OTK where they're protected like from destruction. You can send Cat Dancer off of Kaleido Chick and then either hard summon it with Poly, or you can like Wolf to summon this and it attacks everything twice. But it didn't come up. It honestly didn't come up in 12 rounds. But it's just nice to have the extra fusions for the Liger Dancer sends and the Kaleido Chick sends and the Spell Trap Negate off Pound. And then 2 Leo Dancer you have to play 2 because you're playing 2 Liger, obviously. So I think 8 fusions is a good number. I think in theory you could, based on how little they came up, you probably could switch these out and play one of this, or maybe play Saber Dancer. But I don't. Yeah, these might come up. They just didn't in this event. So yeah, that's fusion lineup. And then we'll go for the links, just 2. You don't really need any more. I think just cross sheet SP. Some other considerations were Dark. In theory, you could take a Murakuma with that. I saw that suggested in the Lunalight Discord. Just decided not to last second, but it's an option. Otherwise, you could maybe IP is something I thought about, but realistically, the stuff that you're losing to, IP is not really helping. SP can be defensive, or it can be like banishing a card out of the graveyard. And then you can still attack with Liger Dancer under the SP banish effect, so that came up a few times. So yeah, just 2 links. And then for the mandatory Xyz monsters, it's these 3. Baguska is the best card in this deck by far. This is like an amazing Baguska deck because everyone puts in so many hand traps. You like get Fuwood or Peruliad, or you put like a name engrave and they go Lancia, and then you make this, and then you put this in the grave, and then you have Pound, and you basically maybe played through 3 hand traps to do this. They use the Floodgate hand trap, and your Baguska is protected if you have like 1 non-engine card. And then once you have Yellow Martin in rotation, you're just going to keep doing this every single turn. So yeah, Baguska is fantastic in this deck. Tiger King is great because not only does it set tanking and get you can extend your plays, but like the effect to negate all monster spawn controls except for I believe Beast Warriors came up for me a couple of times. So yeah, those cards are great. And then Dugaris is obviously Dugaris is ruled for this event that you can't summon from grave if there are no monsters already, but that never came up for me. Most of the time, that's only for a 1-card combo under Droll. Yeah, it's pretty flexible. It helps you when you resummon. You can get more names to fuel your graveyard, like your Wolf, Banish to summon Liger Dancer, or drawing 2 if you're looking for a card to back up your board is really nice as well. So, and then you got to play either this or Nyarla. I don't really think it makes much of a difference. These both detach for effect,
WCQ
so you can trigger.
If game ID you have in your own doesn't match the one you were using in the tournament, I'll get that fixed at the end of the main stage. Also, if
You can trigger Yellow Martin's effect to search for a Lunalight spell. So if he detaches for effect, that'll work.
This is your last chance.
You can play Nyarla, but Nyarla does require a monster in graveyard, and you can't activate Nyarla if you're under Impulse. In theory, you could detach 2, so you could trigger Kaleido Chick as well, but I think it's just safer to play this. And then probably the surprise card for me this event was Zeus. Zeus was really strong because the way a lot of the games work out is when you're going first, you get hand trapped so much. You basically make the Baguska, and then they pass, they set something up, and then they pass it back to you, they don't remove it. You detach 1, so it's got 1 material under it, and then you don't want to play your hand out yet, because the problem is if you switch Baguska to attack, and then I normal summon Gold Leo, and my opponent has Imperm or something. Well, now I've outed my own Baguska essentially, but I had to do that to play. So now what you can do is you can just put an attack and go, okay, battle phase, poke, overlay main phase 2, Zeus, attempt to wipe the board. If they negate it, that's fine. You baited something out and you did nothing. This deck doesn't need a battle phase at all. Once you set up the towers guy, it doesn't matter if it's turn 4, 5, whatever, you're in a winning position. So this came up quite a few times. Exactly when you're going first and protecting the Baguska, it makes your Baguska way stronger on the following turn. So yeah, I would really recommend Zeus in this deck. That's the extra.
All right, let's see the side.
Yeah. Side was pretty good except for one card, and we'll go over that. So playing the rest of the Charmies, free Perulia. You just put these in for everything. You just need to see them. Even against Malice, it's mediocre, but you still need to see it. This deck can struggle into Malice, so you're playing a lot of hate. Obviously, you have to play Lancia, but I'm also playing the Chaos Hunter, which could synergize with your engine as well, because not only it turns off their Bestials into your stuff, which is strong, and then also you sometimes have cards that you can discard for cost and they have like relevant effects. You could pitch like Serenade Dance, Black Oat Laughs, or Lunalight Perfume.
They ever go Dark Seal your Chaos Hunter or no?
I never summoned it. I just never drew it the entire event.
I see.
But like the theory was good. And then you're playing a Thrust package. Thrust is really strong in this deck. When you go second, it searches like every good engine card in your deck. And when you go first, even if this card is so good, because a lot of times when you play Thrust with the specific back row, you may not like find if you play like Sanctum and then like which I'm playing Sanctum and Deep Barrier. This could be like Gnomes or whatever. But the problem is against like if you play random decks, you may not have a target, right? But like already playing Black Oat in your deck and Impulse and Imperm, you just always have something that's pretty strong to set off Thrust, no matter the situation. And then I played Duster for a Thrust target, and then the worst card is Heavy Poly. Do not play this card.
Do not play Heavy
Do
Poly.
not play this card. These should have been 2 Lightning Storms. Like,
why the Lightning Storm over the Harpies?
I just like the flexibility. I like that I can Lightning Storm. This deck has a problem with like Caesar specifically, which I did lose to. In my last round when we were on the bubble, I did lose to a Caesar, and like not that it wouldn't matter that game, but it just shows that this deck can have a weakness to it, and just like being able to have flexibility to hit front and back row, I think is just more valuable than like being able to search a card that doesn't really resolve, because it's like when you interact with your opponent in a good way, this card's not even activatable, because if you want to send 3 from your extra deck, they gotta have 3 monsters, right? So I don't know. I activated it one time, it was negated by the Malice Link 5, so. Yeah, don't play this card. It's bait. This deck has so many good thrust targets. Thrusting for Perfume is a Monster Reborn and a Search. You can also thrust for Lunalight Fusion, which is also which won me a game as well. So, yeah, overall I think the list was extremely solid. This was the only thing I would have changed about it. I guess one thing you might have noticed is I didn't play any Ash Blossom in this deck. So first time I've ever submitted a deck list to a big event where there was no Ash Blossom in it. But the philosophy is just that I'm going to, like, if I get Fluid or Perulia, you don't care at all. But like, you're gonna just set up your guys. Most decks are gonna have a hard time outing it if you have any defensive card plus the Liger, Baguska, SP, or if you make 2 Liger, it's usually game. Most decks aren't playing turning hand traps in their main. The only thing you got to worry about, which did hurt me in round 12, was when I got double Fluid. I got Lancia in one of their 4 or 5 draws was Lancia, and it stopped the Wolf play, and that's why I lost. But other than that, it's not a good card it's not a good generic hand trap. It's not that great, right? You don't want to keep it in going second against a lot of stuff. And this deck is just too good into Charmies, I think, to like play a card like that. When a lot of times you can either make Baguska under like 1 draw and then protect the Baguska with a non-engine card, or you can just completely disrespect it depending on the matchup. So yeah, overall, really happy with the list. Happy with the performance. I played versus only meta the whole time, I guess. Gym Knights twice, but Gym Knights, there's 3 Gym Knights in top 6 of course. That deck's really strong. Other than that, it was all Mitsui, Raizio, and Malice, except for 1 Maker Soul. So extremely happy with the performance of this deck. I had no expectations going into it. But yeah, and I think after the ban list, this deck will be even better, honestly. If people are not playing Lancia in their side deck, this deck could really pop off. And then, yeah, Blue Eyes prize card.
Woo! If interested, DM.
Beautiful rare.
Beautiful rare. Do you have any shout-outs?
Shout out Team Evo. Shout out all the guys who came with us. My wife Savannah for being very supportive. Shout out some of the people in Lunalight Discord server who like helped with some ideas and some like lines. And yeah, that's all.
All right. Thank you very much.